radicalization issue. Many of you had concerns, or questions rather, about did the female radicalize the male in this case. The answer is we still do not know, but I will say this. As the investigation has progressed, we have learned and believe that both subjects were radicalized and have been for quite some time. Now, how did that happen? The question we're trying to get at is how did that happen, and by whom, and where did that happen? And I will tell you right now, we don't know those answers at this point. Next thing I want to, along those lines, is foreign contacts. We are working with our foreign counterparts to determine as much as we can. It's like any other investigation, but this one is incredibly large. We are attempting to expand that investigation out and build it, and build a picture of each person, the timeline, and ultimately the crimes that they committed. That takes time. We are in day 5, and I want everyone to recognize that. But we're working with our foreign counterparts. We're also working with the FBI's legal attaché offices, which are all over the world, and they are assisting in those efforts with our foreign counterparts. The next thing I want to mention, it's come up already. Yes, we do have evidence that both of these subjects did some participated in target practice in some ranges within the metro area or within the Los Angeles area. That target practice in one occasion was done within days of this event. The scope of this investigation I want to discuss very quickly. This investigation is massive in scale. Everyone knows that. We have conducted between, I would say, well over 400 interviews by now of people around this city. And I know some of them have called you and said they've been investigated, or interviewed rather. That's fine. That's what we do, and we'll continue to do as many interviews as necessary for this. Finally, there's been some questions about the total station, the recreation of the crime scene. What we are essentially doing is applying survey technology to the crime scene. And when I'm talking about the crime scene, I'm talking about the initial crime scene at the IRC, where all the victims were. I'm not talking about the officer-involved shooting. Yes, we are still holding that location because we are continuing to be extremely methodical, and we have actually brought in a reconstruction team to apply those tools, those survey tools, to ultimately paint that picture of how everything transpired that day. We have collected over 320 pieces of evidence in this investigation so far. And we have transported a number of those pieces of evidence to Washington, D.C., primarily to our FBI laboratory, to our bomb lab back there, the Terrorist Explosive Device Analytical Center. The last thing I want to talk to you about very quickly before I open it up for questions, and then I'm going to introduce some of my counterparts up here to address you as well. We have found evidence of planning, participation, financing. What I will tell you we have found evidence of pre-planning. Let me correct that. What I want to say is, I want to make sure the public rest assures, again, we are an apolitical organization, and we will get to the bottom of this. And we want to find out everyone who participated in the pre-planning, if there was anyone else. We don't know everything yet. We want to find out everyone who profited from it, finance it. And I'm not saying there is anything like that, but we will leave no stone unturned.